Deep End by Ollie Hazelwood. Prologue. It all starts when Penelope Ross leans in over the restaurant's solid wooden table, lifts her index finger, and declares, "10th circle of hell. You find the love of your life, but the sex is intensely meh." In front of the entirety of Stanford's diving roster. At 11:15 in the morning. During my 21st birthday brunch. For seconds ago, we were oversharing about our digestive issues, and the whiplash is disorienting. I've been taking advantage of my newly acquired legal rights, but no amount of alcohol can prevent me from blurting out, "What?" Not my most tactful moment. Thankfully, my incredulity is drowned out by the reactions of the rest of the team. Bree's spit take. Bella's scandalized gasp, and Victoria's skeptical, "Isn't Blomqvist the love of your life?" "He sure is." Penn nods. I fill my mouth with mimosa. The taste is far worse than plain orange juice. But the buzz is very welcome. Penn. "Honey." Bree wipes espresso martini off her glasses, using the shirt hem of her sister, Bella, who allows it. Twin stuff, I guess. "How many drinks have you had?" "Like, half of that pitcher." Maybe we should." But in Mimosa Veritas. Penn leans forward even more. Her voice drops as she makes a sweeping gesture. "I am confiding in you, guys. Being vulnerable. We're having a moment." Victoria sighs. "Penn, I love you, ride or die, would follow you into the very fires of Mordor and all that shit, but we're not having a moment." "Why?" "Because you're making shit up." "Why?" "Because Blomqvist fucks." I sit back in a semi-zonk state and force myself to think about Lucas Blomqvist, a rare occurrence for me. People assume that I'm fascinated with everything that goes on in a pool, but nope. The only sports I find remotely interesting are diving and land diving, or, as the normies call it, gymnastics. The rest is out of my purview. There's just too much stuff going on in aquatics. I can't keep track of Stanford's water polo teams, let alone the swimmers. And yet, Blomqvist is hard to ignore. Because of the truckload of medals, maybe. The world records. Plus, if the captain of my team is part of an athletics power couple, it behooves me to be aware of its other half. And Penn and Blomqvist have been dating since forever. For all I know, they were betrothed at birth to cement US-Sweden diplomatic relations. I close my eyes to resurface my spotty memories of him. Black Speedos. Tattoos. Short, choppy brown hair. Above average wingspan. The majestic and yet improbable build of every other DI swimmer who ever lived. Victoria is right. We can safely hazard that yes, Blomqvist does fuck. I didn't say he doesn't. He's great. Just not. Penn winces, and it's such an odd break from her sparkling self-assurance. It slices right through my mimosa haze. The thing about Penn, she's kinda great. Aspirational. The type of person who instinctively knows how to make someone feel at ease. She'll remind you to drink water. Offer the ponytail holder on her wrist when your hair sticks to your lips. Remember your half-birthday. I could take personal development workshops till I turn 50 and let a team of data analysts reprogram me, but I still wouldn't have a third of her charm. Because charisma like hers sprouts from base pairs nestled in chromosomes. And now she's biting into cuticles like she just discovered. He adds in a low mumble. Which would be. Bless Victoria for asking what I don't have the courage to. The extroverted, filterless member every team needs. Oh my god. I just want to, sometimes. Penn groans. I stiffen, suddenly alarmed. Is Blomqvist forcing you to? No. God no. She shakes her head. But I must look unconvinced because she continues, no. He would never. Everyone else has dropped off the conversation, the twins, bickering over whose drink is whose, Victoria. Gesturing toward the server. Luck's not like that. Just, how do you tell a guy that you need something different? Why is she asking me? Have the lines on my forehead arranged to form the words previously asked someone to spank her? Honestly, it would check out. Aren't Scandinavians very open-minded? Maybe? He's definitely open-minded when it comes to, but she breaks off, because a small posse of out-of-tune waiters interrupt us with a string of happy birthday to yous, and many things happen at once. I blow on the single candle haphazardly plunked on top of a lava cake. A team present of new stretch chords is produced. I am briefly verklempt that someone as chronically introverted as me found people who are, God, so nice. Victoria needs to use the restroom. Pen gets a call from her aunt. Bree wants to know which classes I'll be taking in the fall. It's too much. In too little time. We never end up returning to the topic of Penelope Ross and Lucas Blomqvist's mysteriously imperfect sex life, which is for the best. Whatever issue they're dealing with is probably trivial, anyway. She doesn't like the brand of condoms he uses. He falls asleep without cuddling her. They're tired after practice and squabble over who should be on top. Not my circus and/or monkeys. So I let the matter slip out of my mind, smooth as a long finial. Until a few weeks later, when everything changes. Chapter 1. The thing I dread the most about junior year begins on a Wednesday morning, a couple of weeks before the start of the autumn quarter. It's penciled into my Google Calendar for the 10 to 11 slot, a single word that weighs more than the sum of its letters. Therapy. This is somewhat unconventional. Sam tells me on our first meeting, no judgment or curiosity in her tone. She appears to have mastered neutrality in all facets of life, her beige pantsuit, the medium grip of a handshake, and ageless, graceful look that could be anywhere between 40 and 70. Is it too early in our acquaintance for me to want to be her? I was under the impression that Stanford Athletics had its own team of licensed sports psychologists. They do, I say, letting my eyes skim over the walls of her office. Diplomas outnumber personal photos, 4-0. Sam and I may already be the same person. They're great. I did work with them for the past few months, but I shrug, hoping to broadcast that it's on me if it didn't work out. I had some issues a few years ago, unrelated to diving. At the time, cognitive behavioral therapy worked well for me. My coach and I talked it over, and since it's your specialty, I decided to try counseling services. I smile like I have full trust in this plan. If only. I see. And in the past. When you did cognitive behavioral therapy, what issues did you? Nothing sports related. It was family stuff. My relationship with my dad. But that's all solved now. I realize that I spoke a whit too quickly and expect Sam to challenge what's obviously a half-baked, still frozen in the middle truth, but she just stares, assessing and hawkish. Lots of attention. All on me, all at once. I squirm in the chair, feeling the ache that always clings to my muscles. Her presence is not particularly calming, but I'm here to be fixed, not soothed. I see. She says eventually. Bless CBT and its lack of bullshit. There's this thing you do that's bad for you. I'll teach you to not do it, your insurance will give me money. And we'll each go our merry way. BYO trauma. Tissues are on me. And just to be clear, Scarlett, you want to be here? I nod emphatically. I may not look forward to the agony that comes with exposing the squishy bits of my soul, but I'm not some cliché detective refusing to see a shrink in an 80s crime show. Therapy is a privilege. I'm lucky to have it. Above all, I need it. I must admit, I don't know much about diving. It seems like a very complex discipline. It is. Lots of competitive sports require a delicate balance of physical and psychological strength, but diving has trained long and hard to become the mindfuckiest of them all. Identity to be reduced to our athletic performance. Never forget, you are what you score. We jump off things. Plunge into pools. Do some acrobatics in between. I mean to make her laugh, but Sam's not prone to amusement. I'm assuming there's more? Lots of regulations. But I don't want to bore her or be a difficult client. I'm an NCAA Division I athlete. I compete in 2 events. One is from the springboard, that bouncy fiberglass board that I mimic its up and down motion with the flat of my hand. That's 3 meters high, about 10 feet. As tall as an ostrich, the voice of my first coach reminds me. What's the other event? The platform. That's 10 meters high, 33 feet. 2 giraffes. No bounce. Static. She hums. Does the scoring work like gymnastics? Pretty much. A panel of judges looks for mistakes and subtracts points accordingly. And how many dives do you perform per competition? That depends. And it's not. It's not really about how many. I bite the inside of my cheek. She lets me take my time, but stays engaged. It's the group. The group? The type of dive, if you will. And how many groups are there? 6 in total. I fidget with the tip of my ponytail. Forward, backward, reverse, twist, arm stand. I see. And in your email, you mentioned that you've been recovering from an injury. Therapy is a privilege. I don't like it, though. Correct. When was that? About 15 months ago. At the end of freshman year. I clench my fists under my thighs, wait for her to demand the gory details, ready to recite my list. Sam, though, spares me. Did you say that there are 6 groups of dives? Yes. I'm surprised at the topic shift and let my guard down. It's a misstep of catastrophic proportions. And this injury of yours, Scarlett, does it have anything to do with the fact that you only listed 5? Chapter 2. You fucked up, Miriam says during the first week of classes. And all I can think past the despair droning in my ears is that I deserve better from my roommate. I've helped her clean bloodstains off countless wrestling singlets. Am I really not to be afforded compassion, or at least disapproval of the more tacit variety? I am 1/4 German. I counter. My mom was born there. I should be good at this. Your mother died when you were 2, Vandy. Your stepmommy, who raised you, is from Bumfuck, Mississippi. Harsh, but fair. My genetic makeup is irrelevant and does not predispose you to a passing grade in German, she says with the contempt of someone who grew up bilingual. I can't presently recall what part of the brain controls the ability to learn languages, but hers spins beautifully and turbine-like. An excellent source of renewable energy ready to power a small European country. Meanwhile, I'm not good at this stuff, I whine. Why should I be, though? It's ridiculous that med schools have foreign language requirements. It's not. What if you decide to do Doctors Without Borders? And your ability to save a life depends on knowing whether the scalpel is male or female. I scratch my neck. Die Scalpellen? Bam. Patient's dead. Miriam shakes her head. You fucked up. My dude. With a little help from my academic advisor. Take the pre-med courses first, he said. You'll need the knowledge to pass the medical college admission test, he added. It's the right move. He concluded. And I listened. Because all I ever wanted was to be on top of shit. Because I'm a student athlete, and my schedule is a crossover between a Jenga tower and a Shirbari tutorial. Spontaneity? Only if prearranged. I made a 15-year plan the day I graduated from high school, and always intended to stick to it. Upwards of 1 NCAA title, med school, orthopedics. Engagement and marriage, compulsory happiness. Of course. I screwed up that plan by stuffing chem and biosequences into my freshman and sophomore years, without considering that science classes were never my weakness. Enter junior year. And my GPA quakes in its boots. Psychology is distressingly vague. The German dative haunts my goriest nightmares. English composition wants me to construct cogent arguments on elusive, slippery topics, poetry, the ethics of pest control, maximum mandates for government officials. Do people exist when we cannot see them? It's easier for me when balls fall neatly into their intended buckets. Black and white, right and wrong, carbon-based and inorganic. This year is shades of grays and marbles scattered all over